All right, Joe. How are you, sir?
Buenos dias, senor. ¿Qué tal? Sorry, wrong show. Wrong show. Sorry. This is the Gringo show. I forgot. Okay.
That's right.
No,
That's right.
all good, man. I mean, I'll tell you, this weather's been fantastic the last couple of days, and we got Formula One weekend up, which I can't believe it's been a year. Um, People are piling into town. I mean, it's going to be fun.
Oh, good for
But
you. I haven't even been the fuck outside, so I have no idea.
Yeah, no, well, this is going to be one of those ones where everybody's going to go out to the race and they're going to be like, "Oh, wow, it's not that hot," because it's only like 84 outside or something.
Yeah.
But there's not a cloud in the sky, and that sun just rips. So expect those medical tents to be filled up with half drunk, dehydrated people by 2. So
that's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I miss out on everything that's going downtown because I'm down south in the burbs.
Yeah, I can't believe you're like 20 miles south of me. That's crazy. This doesn't feel like it's that far until I have to drive out there to like Coral Reef Park or something.
Yeah. Is it really that far? I thought it was like 11 miles, but it just feels like 20 plus because of the fucking traffic.
Yeah, it must be like, well, whenever I go from here to get down to like a tennis tournament, down below Palmetto High, down by like Coral Reef Park, I swear it takes like 35 minutes to get there.
Yeah, it's 11 miles exactly. But from my house to where you are. So anyway,
that's crazy.
But it takes
maybe that's going through the water. Maybe that's a straight shot to the water or something.
That's it. Chizzy says, "Is Joe wearing a Darth Vader mask? Is that why his screen is off?" Oh yeah, it's May the 4th be with you day.
That's right. So my screen's completely off.
Well, your video's off.
You can't see the. Yeah, you can see the peacock though, right?
Yeah. We can see the peacock.
Yeah. Okay.
People want to see.
Just.
Face, that's
I know. I mean, that's for subscribers only, though. No, I mean, still digging out from consensus.
Pay for that.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, we'll get there. I could just tell, like when I was walking around consensus, just the amount of people that knew about the show. Like I found like the Maple Finance guys watch the show all the time. Really like it. So there's a lot of people watching that, or listening that. That I'm sort of missing, that I didn't realize that they were until, you go talk to people. So that's a positive thing.
That's good. That's awesome.
Would love to figure out some kind of like, I think we talked about this the other day, some kind of a sponsorship thing where it's, 4 or 5 people or groups and, maybe we have a brand wall behind us or something, or it's one per day or, one, like somebody gets Monday, somebody gets Tuesday, whatever. But I'd love to figure out a way to put something like that together so that we still maintain editorial independence. I don't want to get to where it's like one group sponsoring us and then everybody starts going, wait, are these guys just touting that line? Or are they, still the same old crew? And, I think we're the same old crew.
I totally agree, dude. I totally do. I totally agree. All right. So what's going on in the world?
I haven't really been paying attention to the news that much lately.
How are the banks doing today? I haven't even looked.
I saw some regional banks are down. Some regional banks are down. I mean, I don't really. Again, I don't really. Yeah.
Yeah, I got something to show you. Fucking. Of course, I'm going to open with DeFi Llama because what else would I open with but DeFi Llama? But.
What are you getting, like a token every time you mention it or something?
Or
a token promissory?
Yeah. I should fucking get a token promissory. They launched a page that is failed banks. And total assets inflation adjusted. But how far back does it go? Oh, it looks like it. Oh shit. That's a lot of data. 2001. So it goes back to 2001, but look at these bars though. 2008, we're like, a little more than halfway to 2008 levels at this point.
Yeah, I don't know what constitutes a bank failure at this point.
I think it's if the FDIC takes it over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember 08. Of course, there were a ton there, but there was a ton of bailouts too. The stuff that I'm seeing right now.
This is not, by the way, the chart is not number of banks. It's inflation adjusted value assets of the failed banks. So I guess, essentially it's, with the 3 we've had how many have we had this year? 4 this year. The 4 we've had this year total, what did 2008 have? How many did 2008 have? A lot, probably. But there was probably a lot of small ones in 2008. Well, a couple of big ones. We know that, right?
Yeah, I mean, Bear Stearns, Lehman Brothers.
2009 had a shit ton of banks closed, but they were all small. 2008, yeah, a good number. But
when was I guess when was the first drop there? It was like, was either Bear Stearns or Lehman, and I want to say like March of 08, I believe.
Bear Stearns March 16th of 08. That's pretty good memory. Yeah, Joe. I would have never fucking pulled that out.
Well, no, because I had a $300 million deal get blown apart at that moment. So I always remember that shit.
Stick in your head.
Yeah, it's like, up monster fees, then instantly a goose egg.
Yeah.
Minus all the opportunity costs.
Yeah, everything else in the list, those were small ones in 2008, except for that one. 2009, we had a nice big flood of small banks clashing. I didn't realize how many fucking banks closed then. Holy shit.
Well, they probably weren't able to access TARP. I used to remember the bank bailout thing. So that's probably why they
Niblet says WAMU was the big consumer bank that failed, Washington Mutual.
Yeah, I remember that one now. Yeah, I mean, to me, I think, I was looking at a few other things, just how many dollars are used in cross-border trade. I mean, the volumes are so high, dollar vis-a-vis everybody else. The amount of money that's in central bank reserves, it's like, 80% is dollars globally. So, there's so much liquidity sloshing around. These individual banks don't really worry me that much, I guess is what I'm getting at, because technically it hasn't required that system-wide TARP-like thing that was needed, because that was taking out all the banks, the big ones in particular.
This is interesting. Washington Mutual was at the time $307 billion in assets. Look at the fucking inflation, equal to $427 billion today. So 15 years later, that's significant. So anyway, okay, what else we got? SEX trading volume is down in April after months of growth. After 3 months of consecutive growth, centralized exchange trading volumes fell to their lowest this year in April. Well, okay, so 4 months. That's not a lot of data to go on, but it did drop last month. Kind of making the case that people are on the sidelines, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, some people are on the sidelines, some people aren't.
Yep.
I mean, I'm pretty cautious right now, but I'm not. I have this firm belief in my mind that there's going to be some kind of a correction, but I tend to think it's a short-lived one myself. Yep. Deep and steep.
Good.
So I'm not letting it really affect me. I just don't want to get caught with, DCAing to zero. That's the thing you got to be real careful about. Dollar cost averaging to nothing. I mean, I just see, I was talking to one protocol today that, basically it's been around for 5 or 6 years, and, they're really tackling that issue in blockchain, about the immutability of it and how you can't deploy it pretty much to any enterprises right now because, the privacy issues on the data.
Sure.
And so how they're developing like a sub chain kind of product that, has all the advantages of blockchain, yet it also has privacy built in. So more enterprise specific chains. And, so I see stuff like that and I'm like, that's what gets enterprise going. That's what gets government going.
That's true.
So I definitely see, all these improvements, I guess is the word, or all of these builds going on across sectors that it wasn't happening 5 years ago.
Right.
It seems to me like the enterprise guys are here, government's here, they're just trying to figure out how to do it. And when that stuff happens, I mean, that's extra liquidity for all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
I also think people don't understand NFTs still. I think people are still thinking of them as pretty pictures instead of all the other things that they can do. And that is totally undervalued right now in my mind.
Yeah.
So I'm positive, still very positive long term. Although I do sometimes get beat up mentally where I start thinking, man, this sure would be a lot easier just to play Sean's game, and just, hedge and blah, blah, blah around something that is driving the whole market and not have to worry about business models and execution risk and things like that.
Yep. Totally agree.
It definitely is a pretty soothing, it's looking pretty appealing right now to me. But at the same time, I don't think that's all there is. I think that enterprise and government is not going to work on the Bitcoin side, of course, for all the reasons that, all the altcoins came out for. But it will work at some of these other chains. So, again, lots of consolidation coming, lots of failures coming, but man, there's a lot of good stuff out there.
So Niblitz asked, he said, how did DEX volume change over the same period? I'm just looking at Uniswap right now, but it was actually in the list. It showed up 4.13% month over month. And overall, I mean, you look at the chart, this is 2023, January, February, a little dip here in March, April was up. So decentralized volume is actually showing some growth into May, right? I mean, there's a little decline here off of the, I guess, like the middle of the month, but for the most part, DEX is not seeing the same level of decline as SEX. So, and how we feel about sexual decline. So,
yeah, it's the young man's game. No, I mean, I wonder though with the SEXs and DEXs. I mean, I think you said that Uniswap was going up 4.3%, right?
Yeah.
In volume?
Yeah, 4.13.
I wonder if this is, again, for those who haven't learned it in the past, I wonder if it's just people like getting their act together and getting their stuff off central exchanges and trading more in DEXs.
Yeah, maybe.
Versus SEXs. So,
yeah, maybe they're starting to figure it out. I wish I thought there was a filter here where I could just show DEXs, but I thought they had a DEX page, but I can't fucking find it. Categories. Here we go. DEXs. Combined TVL. Oh, is this just going to be TVL? Yeah, it's just TVL. That sucks. I want volume. Oh, well. So, I mean, the biggest one, Uniswap, is not seeing a decline month over month. Actually, I guess this is volume. Oh no, this is TVL ranking. But looks good. So yeah, let's see what else we got. Oh, this was interesting. I just thought this was an interesting data point to add to like a sentiment data point. 36% of the top 1,000 crypto projects went silent on blogging this year. They haven't uploaded a single blog post in 2023, which is really pretty interesting.
Well, you know what I always say when people boldly announce their new blog or newsletter, I'm just like, are you kidding me? Now you got to write that shit every week. So that first one goes up there, and then the second one shows up about 3 weeks late, and then they all just disappear.
Yeah, exactly.
Because nobody wants to write them. And what are you going to write about this year?
Yeah,
in the last 12 months. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there, but
at least you're writing about what the fuck you're building, right? I mean,
try to like develop a brand out there and position yourself as a survivor.
Yeah.
Or that there's something new coming that's going to change the game. But if you're just like writing useless blog content, then you never should have started.
Yeah, exactly. Shizzy says, banks are failing while the Fed keeps raising. I'm so bullish. It'd be nice if DEX volume grew, but we already talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah, my thing on the Fed, since Shizzy brought it up, is I think they're done with rates. I think that was the last one. Because they're just trying to hold on. I saw the ECB came out today and said they're not done raising rates. So, which feeds into what I was saying the other day, is that, I think ECB is at, was it 3.75 and the Fed's at 5.25.
Yeah.
What you want is those to be sort of close, because then you don't get that issue where deposits are leaving Europe to go get another couple of 100 basis points in the US banks, or money's flowing from the US to Europe to get a couple of 100 more basis points, and then how that affects, trade, pricing of imports and exports. So we want, again, I think Europe and the US are probably the two largest economies, are pretty darn close to it. You don't want those trading blocks having to be affected by the strengths of various currencies amongst each other. And so when they're in the same interest rate areas, then all of a sudden it's sort of like the US and Europe kind of unify in that economic regard. And then everybody else in the rest of the world is who we all trade against. So I think there's something I've been thinking about, because you see it in, I was talking to a Japanese person at the consensus too, because, when I watch all this, I'm like, man, Japan has kind of angled themselves into a beautiful position right now, because after their bubble pop back in, what was it, 89, 90 timeframe, they've been in a deflationary market for 30 plus years, and it was not fixable. They finally got their interest rates back into positive territory. So they're inching up. So they've actually done a recovery that, and all this liquidity they're ready to unleash into the markets. I mean, Japan's back in the game. So, so my feeling, back to what I was saying with Europe and US and now Japan getting their rates up, there's an interesting angle there where you could be coordinating trade policy and things like that, and then going after the economies you want to go after.
Yeah.
So all of this seems to bode real well for me, going forward, particularly the European and US piece. So again, that's why I think we're done with interest rates. We want Europe to catch up a little bit, and then we can kind of look at it more, post-war sort of strategies going forward. So I'm very positive. And then I know that the stuff about interest rate cuts, I mean, some people are calling it in the third quarter of this year. I don't really think it's going to happen myself.
It's not going to happen that fast.
Yeah, I just don't see it. What's the point?
I can't imagine that, dude. I cannot.
Yeah. So I think that's over optimistic thinking on behalf of. Go ahead, buddies.
May have some juicy, before I forget, some juicy Canto related alpha next week. I hope to have a guest on who has built something that kind of blew my fucking mind. And I'm not, that is not hyperbole. Like, it's somebody that I've interviewed in the past multiple times with a project that we like. But anyway, just wow, fucking wow. So I can't tell more right now, but I'm hoping next week we can have some discussions about it. So I'll let you guys know.
Does that name start with an F?
An F as in Frank?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It does not.
Oh.
It does not. No.
I know somebody we've had on. That's why I was wondering who it's him.
No, we haven't had them on DeFi lunch, separate on Mission DeFi. But
oh, really?
We have discussed, we've discussed his previous project extensively.
Yeah, just because didn't we have like that guy and another one on DeFi lunch once?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But this one is, dude,
different guy, different person.
I got a Telegram message last night from him. Love him. He's a great guy. And fits the ethos. And said, dude, can you take a look at this video? I've been building this for a few months now and just about ready to go and want to see what your thoughts are. And I was like, holy shit, dude, you could own Canto. So
wait, it's another project. It's not Canto.
It's a project deploying on Canto.
Oh, cool.
and it's taking a model that has been copied before and pretty dramatically transforming it.
Okay, so the rebase model. Come on, bring it back to the rebases.
No rebase. No rebase.
Ah, yeah.
I can't. That's all I can tell you guys. But
I just need to lose more money. I just need to lose more money this year. Come on,
teasing it out there. So, I guess we should say the obvious. Sean's not here today, boys and girls. So if you're,
oh yeah,
you know, I don't want to make you hang out if you don't want to talk. You don't want to hear about us. Sean cannot make it this week, but we will expect him bright and shiny next week. So what did Shizzy say? No cuts this year. They will cut just as election season starts. Yes, absolutely. I think you're probably exactly right, Shizzy. Niblet says a Canto tomb fork. Nope. Much more legit than that. It's so good. It's like the simplest idea, but also a brilliant idea, and it fits the Canto ethos perfectly. Like absolutely perfect.
Is it a UBI play?
Nope.
All right.
No, it's an investment play. So
we're going to get some high friggin' yields in there, is what you're telling us.
Potentially. But it solves a lot of problems, and it opens the door to, like, I expect to see like a bunch of projects building on this project as well.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
You've got me you got me intrigued.
It's fucking brilliant. It's I knew this guy was smart, but this was like, holy shit.
So they're going to build on this project that's going to be built on Canto.
This is a protocol they're deploying on Canto. Yes.
Huh. Well, what are the ones out there that people build on?
Well, I mean, it's like a product. It's a project, right? It's like it could, you know, like we have lending protocols and we have DEXs, and as Shizzy says, please God, no more solid leaf forks. And we have, you know, we have all those kinds of potential things that you can deploy on a chain. Well, it's a protocol. It's one of those things, but it's a dramatic change to how that protocol operates.
Interesting.
Yeah,
well, tell them to go buy Geist, man. I need a little bump for my college tuition problem.
So I was in a discussion on Telegram yesterday, and somebody put up a thing. I don't remember what it was, but asking for layer 1s or layer 2s that are in testnet, not mainnet yet, that people are excited about, right? And so I took 3 of those from those discussion, and I went to look at them. And so I'm going to show you each of them. And then you, Joe, are going to tell me. I'm just going to show you. I'm going to show you the homepage of each one, and you're going to tell me which one you think is the fucking scam. All right. I'm not going to make any comments. I'm just going to show them to you. Okay.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay.
The first one is Mantle, and Mantle. Well, I have to tell you some things. Mantle is actually funded by BitDAO. It's a separate product. It's a layer 2. Let me see. High performance Ethereum layer 2 network built with modular architecture. So modular thing, delivering high security at low fees. Builders can leverage Mantle's unique design to build dApps with exceptional UX, all while relying on Ethereum's unrivaled security. So they go into a lot about how it functions and why it's more powerful and how BitDAO is backing it and all that good stuff. All right. So we're just going to take a glance at these. We're not going to go crazy with it. This one, see, I'm resisting making comments here, and I'll make comments after. So this one's called MultiData. Okay. And MultiData is its own chain. But as they say, it says, unlock your dApp's full potential with MultiData's decentralized Oracle solution. And they they're supporting all these chains currently. And I'm not going to eliminate them, even though Canto's not on that list yet.
Wow, everybody.
Comprehensive metrics, expansive network coverage, diverse data sources. So they have on and off chain data sources, diverse sexes and dexes, and third-party APIs. And they list some of the data sources. So a lot of exchanges, etc. and in-network data utilization and cross-network data access. Oh, I forgot to mention, Mantle also has a, I think it's a layer 3 data layer, similar to Greenfield stuff. What they claim.
Oh.
Okay. Then this one.
Oh, I know where you're going now on the one before. Okay.
This one is called Hela Labs. And so it says, empowering the next generation of Web3 adoption, experience the full potential of blockchain with Hela. Our mission, we're not just building a protocol, we're opening up a new gateway for the world to enter a new era of the decentralized economy. We firmly believe that blockchain can bring tremendous benefits to the real world. Co-developed by Hela Labs and the Institute of High Performance Computing under A-Star, the Hela blockchain aims to bring traditional Web 2 solutions to Web 3 platforms. This is their research partner, and that's their website. So which one would you most likely invest in, and which one would you least likely invest in?
Just based on the website?
Yeah, based on those descriptions.
Go back to the first one again.
Sure.
Please.
Mantle. Yep. That's Mantle.
Okay. Ecosystem for builders. And what's their big differentiator here?
So they're a layer 2, and they also have a data availability layer similar to Greenfield.
Yep.
So high speed, high security, low fees is the claim to fame.
And the next one was
MultiData. It's a blockchain dedicated to oracles.
So all oracles. That's kind of interesting.
Yep.
And then the third one was the Web 2 to Web 3 story.
Yeah.
Now Hela I've heard of, so
I have never heard of Hela before I saw these.
Well, I'm hoping now I'm not misremembering shit. Maybe I'm thinking of. So what? One of these is a scam, or am I say which one I like the best?
Scam. I have no idea if any of them are scams. So just to be clear, I rejected one out of hand from reviewing their website. Here, this may help a little bit. So this is the Mantle. Let's go through the other pages of the Mantle website. This is their developer section, teaching people how to develop and onboard. They have a thing about existing dApps on their system. Looks like they have a lot of games. Wow, I didn't even notice that before. Holy shit, that's a lot of games. As well as some DeFi shit I see in here. So that's that section. And then resources, they've got their docs, their GitHub, their faucet, their bridge, and their block explorer. And then their community section. They have a grants program, careers section, Telegram, blog, Twitter, Discord. Then you go to MultiData. Oh, this is, by the way, I forgot to show this. This is their MultiData Explorer for their chain in testnet. It looks nice, nice UI, whatever. And then this is
Mantle or this? Okay, MultiData, got it.
MultiData. So they've got an SDK for their Oracle connections. They have a docs section, and then the blockchain explorer. And then this is Hela Labs. And Hela has what we read, and that's their mission. And then their content.
I think the one that I find, I mean, I don't know anything about these, but to me, the first one, Mantle, you know, I mean, it's like, who doesn't have a chain, basically? And, you know, to me, I feel like there's this, you know, there's just too many chains competing with ecosystems for developers and builds and all of that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. I'm just saying that I mean, I guess the hyperscale piece and the layer 3 piece maybe is interesting. But the second one, MultiData, I find it interesting just from all the issues with oracles that we've discussed over the last year.
Yeah.
And without knowing anything about them, I find that really kind of a unique sort of, you know, I mean, obviously everybody talks it, but nobody's completely dedicated to that. And so I kind of like that. Hela, you know, Web 2 to Web 3, a lot of people are saying that. Yeah. So I guess the one I would, without knowing anything, I kind of like MultiData the best just because of the problem they're trying to solve. It's unique to me. Probably the first one.
Really? That's interesting.
Well, not because of the website, just because of, you know, I mean, I talked to like 15 chains in the last week. Okay. And, you know, it's just a question about execution to me. And that's nothing against Mantle. I was just trying to pick something unique.
Okay, so here's where I went. Okay, so I actually like multi-coin the best in terms of immediate use cases. I actually know about BitDAO, who's backing Mantle, right? And I've had some interactions with some folks from there, so I have a lot of trust in that.
Got
so
it.
I feel like it's absolutely legit. And I immediately rejected Hela because there's fucking nothing here. there's no
I can't read the
technology,
website though.
no white paper, no ecosystem, no fucking nothing. They have three. I didn't. It's not fair. I didn't show you, but they only have 3 followers on Twitter. Blah 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 blah. So they haven't even made the fucking effort to say why they are Web 2 to Web 3. Blah blah blah. And
well, it's easier. Yeah, you're right.
Hela Labs is the scam because they said A space star instead of S star. So anyway.
Oh, good point, Shizzy. When I heard that, I was thinking of Shizzy too. I heard Aster.
I think you and I agree on probably most initial potential is MultiData because it's unique. It's needed in the space. They have shit there. They're already have multiple chains supported and ready to go. So I think that's a cool model, and I think it's needed in the space. So that would have been my number 1. I would have put Mantle number 2. And the other thing that's interesting about Mantle is how many dApps are already building on it, and the number of gaming dApps is really fascinating to me. I actually want to take a deeper dive into the tech on this one because I haven't yet, and it's not fair. I haven't done that, but anyway. I just thought that'd be an interesting experiment, but yeah, I eliminated Hela just because there was zero content of value to tell me anything about them. It was all just
and look, everybody's saying Web 2 to Web 3. I mean, everybody's saying that right now. So you better have more than 2 followers if you're out there saying that shit.
Grandpa Michael's back. I just love that film Cocoon. Can I buy Cocoon coin?
when cocoon
And I promised I didn't ask him to set me up for the transition to this next story, but hey, what the fuck? Meme coin hype is fueling bullish Ethereum narrative as burn hits a 10-month high. So all these fucking meme coins launching on Ethereum over the last couple of weeks have actually driven up the Ethereum burn to a 10-month high that's burned $76 million worth of ETH over the past week, primarily because of the volume from meme coins. So there you go. Thank you for that.
That's interesting.
Michael. That was awesome.
So is Pepe on Ethereum? Because I was just in a chat talking about Pepe.
I thought Pepe was mainnet Ethereum, but I have no idea. I haven't taken a deep enough dive.
Well, yeah, I mean, that thing's, I guess it got to top 10 market cap or something this morning. I mean, it's just insanity, but
Eamon said the gas prices have been brutal.
Yeah.
And Niblets is telling us how old he is because now he's quoting, I'm assuming from Cocoon, "You won't ever grow old and you won't ever die." And that sounds familiar to me. So,
yeah. It's kind of like the Ordinals play over on Bitcoin. You know, you don't know where it's going, but it sure uses up a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah, I've got something on that today. We'll talk about it in a minute. But Shizzy said the ChatGPT made coin was $69. It's pretty cool. It's called Turbo. Oh, check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Bitcoin decoupled from stocks. Had you seen that?
No. What are they exactly saying?
Correlation to equities has plummeted to 12%, a level not seen since mid-2021. Well, that's not that long back, really.
So when they're saying it's not correlating, then they are putting it in an inverse position, I guess, against what equities do.
Yeah, this analyst from investment firm CoinShares says he's not surprised because equities don't do well when a prospect of a recession's on the horizon.
Yeah, that's like a duh. But what I'm wondering is, you know, I mean, I would love to see some evidence of, you know, basically the risk on, risk off correlation or decorrelation or whatever it is, but what the right phrase is. But I would love to see more evidence of that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that really does it other than to say it, like maybe saying it's 12%, there's some kind of an indicator there. Because I guess when I don't remember what was going on in the equities market in this, winter, spring of 21. Was it booming when everything was booming in crypto? First quarter of 21. Do you remember?
I don't know.
I don't remember it being that way. So, all right. Well, something to remember. Looks maybe we get some decoupling here.
I would love a full decoupling instead of this little decoupling.
Yeah. That would be cool.
I haven't been keeping track of mainnet. Shizzy, have you been fucking around with Sui and their mainnet stuff? I know some people in the community were mucking about over there. I have not. What I have noticed on Twitter about Sui is a shit ton of people calling it a scam. I think it's probably Ethereum maximalists who are a little freaked out because this thing supposedly performs really well. This is the one that came out of the team, one of the teams from Aptos and Sui. I think Shizzy was on Aptos, maybe.
Yes, he was Aptos. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's one of those move language based
Facebook play.
Yeah, Facebook team, blah 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 plays, but they are live on mainnet. So I guess I should dabble over there. I don't have fucking time.
I keep trying to go play around in those ones just to get, in the queue for the future. But again, like you just said, don't have time, man.
Do you have to have, I'm assuming this has its own wallet, right? You can't use MetaMask. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just looking at it. I'm on CoinGecko.
Shizzy said, yeah, Sui is a ghost town. No dApps. Oh, there you go. Well, that'll do it.
Yeah. Volume it looks like almost $1 billion in volume in the last 24 hours on Sui.
Oh,
that's 999 million in volume. That's bizarre. I wonder what.
Hopefully, that's not their VCs dumping.
Yeah, I'm like, how in the hell are they? Yeah, market cap 700 million, but the fully diluted number is like 13.5 billion. So
yeah.
It looks like we've got 500 million tokens circulating and a total supply of looks like 10 billion. So you've got 20x dilution coming on that.
Yeah.
Have they already dropped the tokens and stuff? Do we know?
I have no idea. Shizzy said this. Aptos was the same. People are just mad. No airdrop. That's why they call it a scam. So.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just came out like 7 days ago or something, or within the last couple of days, because there's nothing beyond 7 days on the charts.
Yeah, I don't know. Yearn has launched in partnership with Cowswap, a thing called Dump Services. I'll put the link in the show notes. This is a pretty funny little video. It's cute. Decent production values. The essential idea is you can connect your wallet up to this service and then dump all of the coins that are in your wallet immediately without having to do anything else. You don't have to have, I don't think you have to have gas. I think because it's Cowswap, you don't have to have gas of the coin, and it just dumps it and sells it off for you automatically. So I guess it's just supposed to be an easy way to clean out your wallet. I would assume.
Yeah. It reminds me of that nuke button that Matrix Swap was allegedly developing and never quite got there, it appears. But, that one button push where it just cleans it all out.
Yep.
But man, you got to be sitting there in the panic mode at that point if you got that button lit up.
Dude,
I mean, that's like looking at 1 minute candles or something. It's just like, how long is it going to take you to hold off to push that button?
Exactly. It's crazy.
Not that long.
It's crazy. So anyway, that's a cool product. My buddy Mark, our buddy, Mark Jeffrey, tomorrow is going over this thing that I've seen it in Twitter, kind of flushing around BRC20 tokens. We talked about them a little bit last week. It's essentially an easy way to move your ordinals, I believe, off of Bitcoin. I thought it was onto Binance, but now I'm not completely sure. Anyway, tomorrow on what the fuck is that show called that they have? Hold on, I'll find it for you. Mark Jeffrey's going to discuss it tomorrow on Across the Chains from the guys at Block Bytes. So I hadn't realized it, but they launched a show competing with us daily live at noon, Joe. So
I saw an announcement for a show at noon. I was kind of like, yeah, Welcome to the club, essay.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing, I've been pretty friendly with those guys. They could have done 11 or 1, but no. But I like them. And Mark isn't the leader of the show. He's a kind of normal co-host, whatever comes on. But I'm really interested in what this is. Evidently, the volumes have been increasing and growing, and so, this is interesting, and I love anything that's kind of like driving more activity on chain on the Bitcoin network and makes it actually usable for something else. So, from my perspective, I think that's a good idea. Shizzy said that's 100% of VCs dumping on OKX, the SUI dumps. Yeah,
Okay.
Eamon called the dump service the spring cleaning button. Yeah, get all this shit out. And when you have those remnants around, it just fucking reminds you of the shitty, stupid stuff you did. So clear it out, right?
Yeah, although sometimes, I have had those remnants turn into shitloads of bank.
Yeah.
Just, somebody gets together and gets a new listing, and all of a sudden shit that was like 6 zeros all of a sudden is going at 7 cents. And you're like, holy shit, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, exactly.
What is Eamon saying? Careful with BRC.
Eamon said, careful with BRC coins. I think you lose any Bitcoin in the address that receives BRC tokens, something weird like that. Like it's a swap over for the Bitcoin you have over to the network. I don't know how it works, but anyway, he said, be careful with it. So, you guys watch Mark tomorrow and he'll give you insights on it. And Shizzy says he's been cheating on us. I watch block bites when you guys are missing in action. You're just supposed to abstain when we're not home, Shizzy.
Yeah, or watch reruns, buddy. What are you doing? No, one of the things on Ordinals is that, again, I don't really trust the space, to be honest, but because there's so much hype, as Sean's pointed out in the past. But the two that I was in at the beginning, the first one I got in was OFI, which I basically did like a 3 or 4X. I think they rug pulled everybody last week, too. So I got out of that one before that. And then I went into ORD, I think it's Ordinals, with a nice quadrillion tokens or something like that, some obscene number. And, I've rode that up and down once,
Where are you
twice.
buying these, Joe? Are you like going through the whole Ordinals process, or how are you getting those?
No, I'm just buying them on Uniswap or something like that, or Sushi Swap.
Okay.
On ETH. So, so that one I've watched, Ordinals, I've watched go up and down. They're trying to be the Blur of Ordinals or whatever.
Okay.
Who doesn't want to be the Blur of Ordinals?
I want to be the Blur of Ordinals.
It's easier said than done, of course.
Yeah.
But so I've rode that one up and down a couple times, and I'm just waiting. I've taken some profits and reloaded on the dips, and now I'm just waiting for one more push, and I'll probably bolt out of there. I've only got like 56 billion of them, so I think it's worth about $4. But the point is that no, it's worth more than that, but it's not a ton. But be careful in those, whoever's doing anything. But there is a nice ranging up and down. There's definitely money to be made there trading. I just don't know. I just don't know if there's a long-term hold there, I guess is my point. So,
I think there's a core base of Bitcoin folks who are very excited for this shit. And so I think there's potential. But, it's going to be interesting. I know Mark has been really heavily engaged and buying those from the very beginning. So I'm just curious what this BRC thing opens up. I think what it opens up is other opportunities for building around the ordinal system on Bitcoin, just doing it elsewhere. But again, I don't understand it. Coinbase sent an email to users yesterday saying they are going to cease issuing new Bitcoin-backed loans via their borrow service. They didn't give any reason whatsoever in the email, though. They just said, we're no longer going to be allow it. Outstanding loans that are still in there are still fine. Nothing's going to change. But if I thought, my initial gut reaction was, oh, fuck, they're just kind of bending to the regulatory pressure. But I would think the last thing that you worried about shutting down would be Bitcoin-based shit, right? As opposed to, relative to what the SEC says or whatever. It may just be that there's not enough interest in the product, and that's why they're like, fuck it, we're not going to maintain this anymore. But just sounded a little strange to me. So.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that either. I kind of thought they were just throwing a bone to the SEC guys, because at the same time, I think some judge ruled today that the SEC has to respond to Coinbase's request for clarification on regulation.
I didn't see that. Shit, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't I don't know where it was, but some judge said that SEC has to respond.
Good.
So, i.e., the questions Coinbase is asking, which are securities?
Yeah.
Of course, we know they don't have an answer.
Yep.
Or they do, but it's not a good answer. So
the Third Circuit. Hold on. Let me load a tab. So this is Paul Grewald, the attorney from Coinbase, chief legal from Coinbase. What the fuck is the connection? The Third Circuit just issued a text-only order directing the SEC to file a response to our mandamus petition within 10 days and gave us 7 days for a reply. Here's the text of the order. The direction of the court respondent is ordered to file an answer to the petition for writ of mandamus within 10 days of the date of this order. Petitioner may file a reply to the response within 7 days. We appreciate the court's careful consideration of this matter. Awesome. Because this is, look, the whole point of this is for Gary to come back and say no, and then Coinbase to go full on, assault, legal assault. So hopefully that'll result in some shit. We'll see.
We just need clarification,
Yeah. This is AI related, but I was just appalled at this stupidity. So this the chair of the Federal Trade Commission posted an opinion piece in the New York Times talking about all the horrible dangers of AI and how bad it could be and how people are getting scammed and how dangerous it is and blah, blah, blah. I mean, the entire article is that. But look at this headline. Look at the title. Lena Khan, we must regulate AI. Here's how. There's not a fucking speck of here's how in here because they can't. Right? It's like this posturing stupidity of hey, we see the problem, we're on it, don't worry about it, we got you covered, Americans. And it's bullshit. They have no fucking clue what to do because this shit's out in the wild now. I mean, it's not just ChatGPT. There are dozens and dozens of LLM, large language models out there on the market right now, open source, that you can get and use and train and change and do whatever you want with. So, it's just interesting. Oh, speaking of AI, I connected up with founder of Akash, who I interviewed recently, and he wanted to talk about AI stuff. So tomorrow mid-afternoon, he and I are going to jump on a Spaces that he set up that
cool
to talk. So I'm looking forward to that because Akash has a GPU marketplace. And so GPUs are what drive AI and or the infrastructure needed for AI. And so I think they're in a really cool position. So I'm looking forward to talking about it more. They've got developers in their ecosystem developing all kinds of apps for their marketplace capabilities. So it'll be interesting to chat. So I'm getting a little taste of AI. And then I think Marcello from Singularity Net's coming on next week. They are the DeFi-based AI project, but they have just announced that they are getting close to launching a model with other aspects of AI capabilities that they claim is superior to the capabilities of ChatGPT. And that is a project that was funded in the DeFi space. So it would be really cool to see that that actually happen and they get some attention for the fact that they are creating a superior model. Ben Wurtzel, the one of the original kind of AI guys, is head of that project. And they're doing also attempting to work to make AI models decentralized on chain. So lots of cool shit happening in that space related to DeFi. And so I'm looking forward to both of those conversations. So
yeah, that'll be cool because I'm kind of losing track of what's going on over there these days.
Yeah.
I'm not too, I get why people are worried about it. All you got to do is tee up some Terminator and you'll get some interesting ideas. But damn, if it could tackle a lot of the useless bullshit I have to do all day, I'm all for it without telling me about it. I just wish that something could just do it.
Well, we're getting closer and closer to that already with what exists with the agent capabilities. I've been playing with autonomous agents quite a bit over the last week or so. And it's not something that the average person's going to dive into yet, but it is, it's not going to be long before we can do it through the ChatGPT interface or through the Bing interface in Edge. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Eamon said,
well,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and if you think anybody's going to get around to regulating this, you're fucking high.
It's
because
so
they can't even get around to regulating crypto.
Yeah.
Let alone DeFi, let alone, I mean, DeSantis came out today. I think the legislation was signed today or it was approved, but, banning CBDs in Florida, not CBDs, the central bank coins.
Yeah.
In Florida. And so, as a payment method. So, does that mean we can't send USDT to pay for shit from here?
Right.
Sure sounds like it.
Yeah.
So, they can't even figure that shit out. So you let alone, AI from a federal versus states' right perspective, it's never going to get done until the robots are running in the streets amok.
Yeah. Eamon said, in quotes, I guess as Coinbase, if you're using a SEX for borrowing on crypto, what are you even doing? Go take your borrow needs to DeFi and hope you don't get rugged over there.
Yeah.
Chuck, who is always the AI cynicist, says ChatGPT would be akin to Rosie from the Jetsons if it had to pretend to be a Terminator.
That's great.
ChatGPT has been teaching me how to code. When I get stuck, it shows me exactly what to do. I just wish I had more time. Totally agree, dude. I'm generating apps with ChatGPT. So, anything else I need to make sure we talk about today? I don't think so. I don't think
so.
I think we're good, Joe. Oh,
yeah. I mean, make sure.
This real quick. This is such an interesting concept. I like this concept. I mean, I think we have similar things kind of functioning in the world, but unfortunately, it's built on the tainted brand of Wormhole. But maybe I need to give these guys another shot and another look because they seem to be building and doing a lot. Nexa is introducing what they're called chain agnostic token standard. Anybody can deploy tokens that are seamlessly transferred and exist in a connected manner across all chains. So it's using Wormhole to make that possible. I don't know the level of security concerns regarding that, but the idea that you can take existing or new tokens and NFTs and make them cross-chain as well as new or existing ones, making them cross-chain, seamlessly cross-chain. This seemed like a cool thing. They're launching first on Ethereum, BNB Chain, Polygon, AVAX, Arbitrum, and Optimism, and Solana, Sui, Aptos networks are next. But interesting concept. I don't know the inner workings of it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
All right, dude, that's all I got. Well, that's not all I got. But that's all I want to talk about today. I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm ready to shut it down. I'm pretty worn out. Trying to think what else is going on. What is today? Today's Thursday. Okay. So we can't we can say have a good weekend. Yeah, of course. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Have a good weekend, boys and girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a good weekend, Joe.
You too, man. You too.
Thank you, Shizzy, Chuck, Eamon, Niblets, Michael, Grandpa Michael. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you being here, and we'll launch. Hey, you could go over to Nexa and launch Cocoon Coin as a cross-chain coin. They have an entire little dApp that you can come in and build your own coin on their site. So maybe Michael will release Cocoon Coin. May the 4th be with you. That is right, Niblets. May the 4th be with you. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. If you haven't had a chance yet, please go rate and review us. I know it's just an oversight. Go rate and review us on Apple Podcast and on Spotify. Come on, you're listening. Open the app. Stop, pull over in the road or whatever you're doing. Go in there, click the star, say Brad and Joe are brilliant, and you're done. That's all you got to do.
Heck yeah.
That is all you have to pay us for watching, for listening to us make idiots of ourselves every day. It's priceless. It's absolutely priceless. And all we ask is a click and a few words. That's it. That's all we ask. That's all you got to do.
We recognize that it's a bit redundant and obvious because everybody already knows that, but still it helps us with the lemmings out there. So please do.
Exactly. It boosts our ranking when people are searching on the word DeFi. So please.
That's right.
If you are watching on YouTube, please make sure you're subscribed. Click the little bell so you get notified when more of this goodness is out. And make sure you smash the thumbs up. We don't get to see Joe smashing the thumbs up anything more, but
you guys can visualize it though, right?
See, this is what I secretly think is going on here. Eamon said it right there. Now the fucking silent thing has been said out loud. He said, but then more people will find the alpha. See, that's it. They're trying to keep it from getting popular, Joe, because they're afraid that then, you know, everyone else will get this brilliance.
Yeah, no, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
It is a conundrum, that's for sure.
It is a total conundrum because, you know, why wouldn't, you wouldn't want to share. I wouldn't want to share.
Well, when people give me tips and I learn new stuff, I don't walk around sharing it with everybody right away.
No,
you know,
wait till you buy it so you can
get your position in. Exactly. What is that? A friend of ours used to say, "Fill before shill."
Yeah, there you go.
Now we don't shill though, but we don't shill.
No.
We just talk about shit that looks pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, you get the raw.
But yeah, no, I mean,
stupidity here. We don't have enough fucking sense to buy before we shill here.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about some stuff.
Wrong. How many fucking shows in are we? 339.
I think we're like
339, and we haven't fucking front run a shill yet. I think it's time, Joe.
Yeah. But we got to make it count. We got to make it one that will really pop our wallets. So I don't know what that's going to be. But I just prefer, look, I don't mind it because I like the fact that people value our opinions.
Yeah.
To where they're regarding it as proprietary alpha data. So that's cool.
Yeah,
but at the same time, maybe that means that we have to have like two layers then. There has to be like the inside layer, like everybody here.
Yeah.
And then we have to have some kind of a layer for the masses.
Yeah, that's
and I don't, maybe like the live version is some kind of special club. And then the listening version, which is out later, is for everyone. So that way the people that do show up to watch or listen at lunchtime, get rewarded with a 6-hour heads up on everybody else.
Yeah, maybe
something like that. That way the alpha is actionable alpha for like 4 to 6 hours. And it's not like we're doing anything other than just sharing the wealth, but something to think about. Maybe there is a way to do it that way.
Yep.
I mean, I guess we already kind of are doing it that way, right?
Yeah.
It's just it's not proprietary viewership. It's still open.
Yeah.
At lunchtime.
Yeah.
So let's figure that out.
Okay.
But anyhow, man, great week. Everything looks good to me. It's going to be a big party up weekend, so
good.
Probably won't see much of me.
You like going over to the race parties and shit?
I don't know if I'm going to do that this year. I did last year, but I'm telling you, Miami Gardens are like out there, at the Hard Rock Arena or whatever it's called out there, stadium. It's friggin' hot out there. I mean, it's not like, I think this Formula One race should have ripped down through downtown and the causeways out Key Biscayne and out MacArthur through South Beach and back.
Yeah.
Obviously that's more expensive because they kind of built a course out there for it, but still it's like, you're out next to the Everglades and that sun's up like today, maybe 85. I mean, you're going to get smoked out there. I mean, it's tough.
And all the mosquitoes.
Oh yeah. At least out on like Key Biscayne, it's actually chilly out there with the breeze.
Yeah.
So, at least when it gets a little darker, but still, it's still a good time either way.
I agree.
I just, kind of like, I mean, me, I like it to keep it easy. I don't like to be out in the mob scene and the, direct sun, with hundreds of people swilling mojitos, or thousands of people. It's just not my idea of a good time. I like the air conditioned paddock area, a good big screen TV, and then all this shit going on like 50 feet away.
Where's all your money bag friends? Get them in here. Get you in there.
I got to get them some deals, man. I just get the basic stuff now. I got to make somebody a couple $1 million and I'll get back in the VIP circle.
Got to get the upgrades. Niblett said, NFT for access to the inside layer coming soon. Yeah, that's good. I like that. And Niblett said, Joe partying with his Davos buds this weekend at Formula One.
Yeah, those and all the, I guess those are all the WEF guys. Is that right?
There you go. There you go.
Everybody's got their WEF tattoo hidden, kind of thing.
Exactly. Joe's got the inside loop on the evil people.
Yeah, and I'll tell you though, dude, they're not that smart. That's the thing. I'm gonna tell you, they're not.
Dude, I
But
was listening to a VC on a show today, and I'm like, everybody just kind of assumes the VCs are fucking smart and they know what they're doing. They don't. They don't.
no, they're
I
just
mean,
playing it safe.
there are some really brilliant ones. Don't get me wrong. I've known really brilliant VCs in my career, but there's a lot that just kind of fucking tag along with whoever's doing whatever they're doing.
Well, and you only hear about the winners. You
Yep.
know, you don't hear about the 47 losses that got you that winner.
Yeah.
And so remember with VCs, it's more about the process. It's more about what the value is they get in on, who are the co-investors,
Yeah.
who is the team, how long have they been around,
Yep.
you know, because when you go to somebody like Sequoia or somebody like that, you know, or Kleiner, and, you know, first of all, you got to crack into them because I tell you, they don't even read anything just sent in cold. There's
Right.
interns supposedly looking at it, but you know, nobody cares. It's like their friends bring them deals or their portfolio company, people that did giant exits and the bazillions of dollars bring them deals. So you got to have a sponsor. But once you're in, they bring you like the management team too,
Yeah.
you know, of everybody who did the IPO or created the $1 billion company. So execution risk kind of gets, you know, taken off the table. Then it just becomes about, you know, can you get there fast enough to meet the market?
Yeah.
And do more competitors come? And so, you know, you got to understand they do that process with every single portfolio company. So, you know, people can all execute, but then it's just a matter of did the original assumptions hold?
Yeah.
So to me, I'm like, you can't think of them as super geniuses. You know, they're just regular people, you know, trying to make some money. But if they do pick something and they're from an anointed firm, then you have to think that that's got as good a shot as anybody of making the big time. So,
That's true.
you know, that's what it is. It's just a brand. You know, it's a
like anything
validation.
else, they're like leader VCs who are out there doing the research, diving in, understanding what's going on, and leading the deals. And then there are the guys who are just like, yeah, cool, I'll go with the guys that are smart.
Yeah, the followers.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, you know, if you want to be a follower VC, then you got to be hanging out partying with the lead VCs so that they keep you cut in. And you got to bring them deals too. Right. Like, you know, don't try to lead shit yourself. You find something really good, kick it over to the big boys, and then they'll give you an allocation. It's like anything. You don't compete with them. You just add value to them. And then you try to like stay in their draft, so to speak. So you get access to all the deals. But, you know, it's just more likely that's going to succeed than, you know, someone just comes up with a great idea and then tries to execute themselves. And not that it never happens, but, you know, but that's what you got to think of them as. They're not smarter than you if you got an idea. They just have a bigger network around that can execute your idea.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't be stingy with those guys because, you know, it reminds you real quick of this deal with a stem cell company back, you know, 20 plus years ago. And I remember it was Healthcare Ventures came in and they had, you know, quiet group out of Princeton, and they had done Solera and HTS. And they came in and pitched some deal, and some of the guys I was with turned it down, where I was like, let's take it. But they were going to, you know, basically pony up like $270 million in financing into essentially a startup. They actually did have a Series A in it, but they wanted like 80% of the company.
Wow.
And everybody's like, oh no, we can't give up control. And I'm like, $280 million? I'm like, we can't give up control? What are you kidding me? Now all of a sudden all our shares are worth, you know, 20 million each basically.
Yeah, right.
And we don't want to do this because then we never have to look for money. And they're like, no, the valuation is not high enough. Well, make a long story short, it, you know, it never got close to that level as far as valuation going the other way. Right. But, you know, my thing is if someone's there with all the money, don't get squeamish on control. Get squeamish on how much money's in your pocket. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah. Take some money off the table, keep the rest locked up. So then you can just go all out. And if you fail, you fail, but you still, you know, got a little rich on the deal. And then you'll get in the next deal, you know, because then that VC fund will put you as management in the next project. Absolutely. As long as you like play the game. So, you know, that's the difference to me, you know, between say incubating and between actually really doing VC work. And both have their advantages. You just have to always balance it, you know, and don't believe anybody.
Makes sense.
You
Say
know,
goodbye, Joe.
Bye, everybody. Or bye, Joe.
There you go. Thank you.
All right.
Take it easy.